Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with the Help Academy Sports Coach 2025. I was set up a session for you today that I want to talk about for developing players' ability to step into pressure and cover when the ball is moving. Recently did a video, talked about the second goal in the Gold Cup final between the United States and Mexico. The United States had some issues with stepping there, allowed gaps to form in their back line after a penetrated pass. They let up a goal, and that kind of led to them, being in a tie ball game that led to Mexico scoring late and then losing the Gold Cup final. Highlights are available on YouTube, so definitely go check those out if you're looking to kind of see what I'm talking about. But also, there's a video we'll be putting out some videos that are going to be breaking down goals, talking about how goals develop, and then talk about how we can take those into a session and develop sessions to help counter those goals or teach our players to score those goals. So if you have any suggestions for goals that you want to see, or if you want me to break down a goal from some game film from your club or high school team, love to do that. Just reach out to me at matt@pennantcoaching.com, and we'll include that email in the show notes. Also, if you have any ideas for sessions, or you want me to design a session around a topic or something like that, also use that email and just reach out, and we'll make a video for you and post it here. So what we're doing here, if you saw that video, the first drill we talked about was this line drill where we have players that essentially lined up 4v4, and there's a couple options. Now, I don't always do this. Sometimes I'm just focused on the teaching aspect of it and not so much the making it so much more game-like. But you can add goals here to create an idea of what players are trying to do with in terms of developing their ability to block pathways to the ball and things like that. So we have black. Yellow can't take the ball from black, but black is able to pass the ball back and forth here. Yellow then needs to step, pressure, cover, balance to the ball to make sure that we have a situation where we're forcing the player. We call it poke or ride, where the ball comes to your front foot, you poke the ball away. If it goes to your back foot, you ride it into your cover. So we're poking here. If it goes to this side, riding them in, and then if this player did pass or did drive this way, our cover guy should be in a position where he can slide in and win the ball. Now we don't want to both go; leaves a gap there. We get split, so it should be staggered off here. This player's then front foot is on the right side, their back foot leading them into their cover player. This player in a position of balance where if the ball was switched quickly, they're not so close that this player then can run behind them, but they're not so far away that if they get the ball, they can't meet them at contact. So the ball did go back here. What we see is the ball slides. As that happens, this player becomes the pressure. This player slides into cover. This player then becomes the balance players on the back side. Now, when we include the goals, what we're looking to do is to block shots and not allow this player to then pass to a goal. So we're actually asking the players not only just to understand where they should be in terms of stepping and pressing, they should also understand passing lanes and where the opposition, this would be not so much a goal in a game, but a player that they're passing to. So we're looking for a little more 360 view, which is why I say in the beginning I don't use the goals. I just want them focusing on where do I step, where's my body positioning be, is there an angle, where should I be as the cover guy, and I go slow and talk like that, and then you can jump in with the goals and make it a little more game-like. From there, I'm actually adding another row of players here. So we'll take these goals off. And I'm going to add another row of players here. Nope, not him. He stays. More. And I'll have cones here. So I may have a whole line of cones here, but right now I'm just going to put a cone here and a cone here. And these players have to stay inside this box. They might want another cone on the outside. So the players in black can't go outside of their box. So you have three tight little rectangles here. And what we're trying to see is I would go for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, something along those lines, and have it where the ball can't go in the air. Because then with this situation, it just becomes too much of like chip, 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 and there's nothing really the defenders do. So the ball can't go, I'd say above the knee. Even I just say it's just got to be on the ground. You can skip a little bit, but the ball's got to be played on the ground. And what we want to see is how many times black can pass from one side to the other. All right. And we can either do it that way where it's, the few, like golf through a score. So the team in the middle that gets the fewest passes through wins, or they can get some kind of bonus if they're able to intercept a pass in the middle. something along those lines. Because if you just make it that, then the players in black can just hold the ball and they won't try because they don't want to give up points. So it's basically the lowest score wins. So if they never do it 0, the team in yellow wins. But essentially, we're trying to see if black can pass here to here. All right. So what we're trying to do here is we're putting pressure on the ball. If you watch the other video, it talked a lot about the spacing. So if I'm up on this player, it reduces his angles and makes his play predictable. He has to worry about the ball. It shortens up the ability he can play to play the ball, to spray the ball wide. Then we have a player cover sliding here, so they block the passing angle. We can even talk about maybe not being directly in their line of sight, hiding here, so we jump the lane, things like that. But generally, we're just speaking, we just want this here. And then we have these players here in a balanced position where they're not so far away that they can't then block a quickly played pass over here. So let's say the pass went here instead of through to try to create angle for a forward pass. We have a player that's close enough, balanced enough so that if the ball did go through, they could slide and help this cover player. But if the ball goes square, then they jump, and we have two guys drop into a position to provide cover and balance for the player here, and this player then drop off. So a lot of opportunities for you to stop, break things down, but also make it game-like and competitive. From there, what we're doing is maybe we have 3 defenders in here, or let's say attacking players, we'll call them. 3 attacking players. And now, if you have those like rondo circles or something like that, this works. But you can also just do a squared off cone. So the players in black here are in a grid. If I can get the cone, are in a grid, and they cannot leave the grid. They can't dribble out of the grid, but they can pass the ball as much as they want inside of the grid. We have then defenders on the outside. And they're working on that position of when do I step? How do I cover this pass? Pressure, cover, balance, all of those things. And then we'll have players in black. So one here, one here, here, and here. And the players in black in the middle are trying to pass 2 players in black on the outside, and they'll get a point for every time they do so. So same thing here. I would do some kind of time limit where the least amount of passes, yellow will go in. There'll be the defenders, then they'll switch out with black, or there'll be 2 other defending teams, and they're competing to see how few passes that it can be made to the outside. And so what we're doing here is working very 3-dimensionally, lots of different movement, a little more challenging, obviously, because there's 4 different targets they can play to instead of that forward one. But we're looking here in this situation, pressure cover. So this player's job is to get tight to the grid so that this player can't pass. Easy one here. We're forcing them to go this way, and we're making sure that we have a player on this backside that can then cover. Then let's say this player turns, this player steps, cover, and we're working a lot of different communications. So it's really bringing those skills and kind of putting a stress test to all the things we've worked on in the session. From there, I work into my scrimmage where I'm working on players, pressure and cover, bigger field, a lot of different possibilities. How are we applying those things? And I'm stopping and freezing and talking about, hey, this is a great moment where you just didn't get to where you needed to be. And that allowed for him to have the space, or you did a great job. And you just standing there covered that space so that he had to go inside and force that turnover. That's an excellent job by you. And really focusing on those specific coaching points. So once again, I'd love to hear about some of the things you're doing in your sessions, or if you want me to help you design a session or talk about a session or break down a goal. We now have that email that you can reach out to and ask questions for, and we'll design our upcoming videos about what you guys want to talk about, when you guys want to see brought up in these videos. So once again, my name is Matt Carroll for World Class Coaching. I'm with the Help Academy Sports Coach 2025. I hope this session finds you well.